Okay guys, we're going to jump right in and turn this double-walled tumbler into a glitter globe tumbler. I got the tumbler and the stickers off of Amazon. I've already decorated it up, and now we're going to turn it into a globe tumbler. Right here I'm looking for a place to put the hole. There's no reason why I can't put it right in the middle. So we're going to put a hole right here. A lot of people use different methods. I'm using the melt method. This is a tool that you get for hot fix rhinestones. I'm just turning it back and forth a little bit until we get it to go through there. It doesn't take long. If you hit that second spot, it's okay. Just, it's fine. Now I'm just gonna try to smooth it out a little bit and get it to come down a little bit. Some people will cut this off. Some people will sand it off. I leave it because I just melt it down so that my resin will go underneath of it and on top of it, and it creates an insurance policy that your glitter bottom's not gonna pop off. You all know I love my masking tape. I've got my masking tape around the bottom here just to help me, because as you see, that's the best way to get glitter into that hole. I'm just kind of shaking it around to show you, that you want it to fall into the hole. But here is the way I do it. I tap it. I spank the cup and tap it in. Here what I did was I took out a heart that was the wrong color. I could have just left it. I should have, but it would have just been one little heart floating around that was an off color from what my color scheme was. But I should have left it, but it's too late for that. I didn't think about it at the time. I'm just like, hey, how'd you get in there? Get out. But yeah, that's the easiest way to get the glitter in there. And I like masking tape too, because when I'm ready, I just rip it right off. It leaves absolutely no residue. It comes right off. Simple, easy peasy. That's the way we like it, easy peasy. It's cheap. It's not expensive at all. So yeah, and I'm thrifty. We all know I'm thrifty. I think every video I've ever done, I talk about how thrifty I am. The other thing is a lot of people will drill a second hole. I don't do that either. Oh, wait. Here I'm showing you that the Elmer's Magic Glue, which I'm out of, we're not going to use it. We're going to use this, which is the glycerin, the vegetable glycerin. But the Elmer's Magic Glue, I love. What I use is 2 little medicine cups of that, and then 1 of distilled water. So 2 to 1. There's that. Yeah, 2 to 1. 2 cups of the magic glue and 1 water. Here I'm doing the same thing with the glycerin. 2 cups of glycerin and 1 cup of water. But what you will see is I end up adding more glycerin, because in that cup where I'm pouring it into right there, is the same cup I mix my glitter into for a reason, because I've got a little bit of glitter mixed in that. And as I am mixing this up, I'm also watching to see the movement in the glitter, because I like a really, really slow movement in these cups, because I don't want a cup that I'm walking around with that's supposed to be a globe glitter tumbler to just have everything fall to the bottom in seconds. You can't just stand around with a cup with a straw hanging out of it, shaking it up all the time. So I like it to really, really, really take its time. Here I'm showing you, that's the magic glue. It almost looks like it's not moving at all. And right, a lot of it's not moving. Some of it is, but a lot of it's not. But I like that. Personal preference, I like that. If you don't like that, just add more water for more movement, more of the other solution, whether it's magic glue, glycerin, more of that if you want less movement, more water if you want more movement. And like, so see, even now, I'm just eyeballing it, because even though you can't really see it, there's glitter in that cup that I'm mixing around, and I'm just kind of watching how it's moving. And I pay attention to that. So, but anyway, back to the hole. A lot of people will put a second hole because it'll make your solution go in faster. That is true if you're, I guess, in a hurry, or however. It depends on how you're putting it in, I guess, because for me, that hole's big enough for me that what I do is you'll see, is I will pour my solution into one of those little medicine cups. Ew, I'm making a mess. And I'll just tip my tumbler a little sideways and make sure that while I'm pouring it in, that I'm just pouring in a slight stream, and that I'm not going so fast that hole plugs up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to make sure that as I'm pouring it in, as you watch, I'm tilting it. I'm just to the point where it's going to trickle in, as you can see. I'm not right on the cup. I'm kind of high off the cup, just letting it pour in, but I'm tipped at an angle to where it's dropping right down in, and the air is coming right back out. So, if that makes sense. So I don't need two holes. I don't need to. Some people do, but I don't. And I don't want to have to worry about plugging two holes, and then the more time and all that stuff. So here again, I'm just going to tilt the cup and hold it kind of high up in, and then I'm just pouring it and trickling it into that hole. I'm actually pouring a little bit above the hole, if that makes sense, and it's falling down in. Plenty of room for air to get back out. And I'm just taking my time, nice and easy. And you also notice I'm plugging the hole with my finger, I'm shaking, I'm moving around, because I want to get all that glitter that I just put in there at the top fully coated. I want to coat it, I want to see it moving around, well, before I get it too full. It's just easier to get it moving around while you got some room to play with it, instead of waiting until you're completely filled already. I'm just kind of tapping it down out of there. But yeah, it's working. I know I just kind of jumped right into this. And the reason that I am doing a voiceover and not talking in this video is I have my grandchildren over. And I've wanted to do a video for a while, but this is my busy season. I have people that have requested certain videos with like the sublimation tumblers, and I will get to those. I will get those done. Please bear with me. But this is a very popular tumbler for the holiday season with Halloween and Christmas. But I'm also in my busy season with vendor shows and things for Halloween and Christmas. It's going to be like so busy right now. So getting videos in is easy for me. So I wanted to hurry up and get this done, but I also have grandchildren that I'm watching. So I'm doing this voiceover because right now they're sleeping. But during this video, they're playing games and they're being loud. And I'm just like, I just want to get this done. So yeah, I knew right away that I was going to get interrupted, which does happen if you pay attention. I'm going to get interrupted by a grandson, which is fine. I don't mind them being on video and stuff like that. But when they're playing their games, they shout and I don't know. And I'm partially deaf and I don't know what they're saying, so I'm just going to play it safe and do a voiceover. You also saw that I used toilet paper. A lot of people will use like the dried paper towel, or not paper towel, dried baby wipes is real popular. But I'm like, I just use toilet paper. It's cheaper. It's absorbent and it soaks up those oils and all that really fast. I like that. I have used the dry baby wipes. I just think that it's faster and does better for me using toilet paper. And you can always find toilet paper on sale or generic, cheap toilet paper. Just don't get something that's going to tear and fall apart on you easy. I mean, make sure it's going to be a good quality, you know. You know, some of those toilet papers can just, what's the word I'm looking for? Dissipate right before your eyes while you're using them. Just make sure it's something that's going to, you know, work. You don't want a bunch of linty toilet paper all over the bottom of your cup. The one I'm using is, I don't know what it is, but it's a generic. It's a generic brand, but it's one I like. It, you know, does a good job. And don't be mad at me for using toilet paper. I know that during the coronavirus, toilet paper was a big deal. Here I tried to top it off by just dumping it right in the hole. This is where someone would get frustrated and need that second hole, because I plugged it and it started overflowing. So you got to tip it. You do have to tip it and pour it in if you're going to do it with just one hole, just so that you can let that air get back out. And here I'm just kind of moving it around to make sure that I have where I can get, as long as you can get it in and air can get out. And I didn't go completely full because I'm going to be sticking a glue stick in there, which was, I was about to tell you that when you use that rhinestone hot fix gun, it is just right at the perfect size for the glue sticks. So, like the glitter glue, I couldn't tell you where the glue sticks, they're for where I got them. They're for the small. They were given to me. They were gifted to me, but they are for the small glue gun, the little tiny small glue gun. But they fit the hole for these like almost perfect. I mean, there's still a little bit of movement, but not much. And I'll show you here in a second. That's the best way that I have found to plug these holes. I've tried a lot of things. I tried the Lucite silicone. I tried E6000 gluing my tape down and blah, blah, blah. I've tried the shipping tape, the Gorilla tape, the packing tape. I've tried so many things. This works wonders. It's just boom, done. Except you're going to see that I kind of make a mess here. Of course I do, because I'm doing a video. It's still, even though it would be easier, I'll tell you what I did wrong. What I did wrong was I should have heated up the glue stick right before I put it in and then cut it. See, here's my glue stick. I put it in, and what I should have done was melted a little bit first and then stuck it in, and then when it wasn't moving so much, just cut it right in there. But I take it out and cut it, which, you know, that's not a big, huge mistake. I still, even though I took it out first, I should have heated it up and melted a little bit and then stuck it in the hole and then waited a little bit before I melted it the rest of the way down. And you'll see why I'm telling you all this. Now, see, you also see me grab a heat gun, because that's the way I used to do it. I used to use the heat gun. But with the heat gun, you'll go to melt that. It's also heating up the solution. And it bubbles it out. Like, it will be bubbling out while you're melting your glue, and it's a mess. I have discovered that just using this tool to melt it down, it melts it fast, but look, it sticks to me and comes out. That's why I'm saying I should have melted it first, because I do end up, here in a second, you'll see I end up sticking the melted side in the hole and it stays. Yeah. It's melted, and I put the melted side in, and it immediately stays. Like, I should have done that first, but then now this end, there's no movement. I'm able to just melt it right down. So, given the chance to do it again to show you, I would have taken that full glue stick, melted the end, stuck it in there, waited a second, cut it. I wouldn't have taken it back out. I would have just cut it, and then I would have melted it down. But yeah, I mean, after you do this, that's how simple it is. Now, being that stuck, I had glue I had to kind of get out there, so you're going to see that. But if usually you can just turn that off, let it cool, and if there's any glue, because that has like a hollowness to it, you can take your tweezers and pull that glue right out. But yeah, that's how simple that was. And it's nice and sealed. Mind you, I'm waiting for it to cool off. I don't want to tip it over and test it. Since I've been doing it this way, none have leaked. No leaks. Right off from the get-go. And I got stuff on my hands. I was trying to show you that it's not leaking. But yeah, since I've been doing it this way, I'm not going to do it any other way. This is it. This is the way I'm doing them from here on out. Now, by all means, if you have anything to add or take away from what I'm doing, comment. You know, not everyone does it the same way, and it's not easy for everyone a certain way. Like my way might not be the easiest way for you, which is fine. Any and all tips, by all means, comment, because that's how we learn. That's how I learned. I learned a lot from just looking at comments and stuff. See, my grandson's talking to me, and I knew that was going to happen. If you can read lips, I'm in trouble, because he asked me about our weekend plan, and I told him I was gonna kick his butt, but we play. We're just playing. Nobody freak out. I don't know what our weekend plan is. We don't have a weekend plan right now. But I put it on some toilet paper also to show you that there's no leaks. And I can't remember if I mentioned when you use the drill or the Dremel, which I've used both of those ways to drill a hole, that all that shaking, vibration always ends up with a crack, or about every other cup I did ended up leaking at the top. Since doing it this way, none have leaked at the top. But it's not a deal breaker. I have the ones leak at the top, turn it over, give it time, take the alcohol ink. I'm using hard type resin to seal the bottom. That same hard type resin, if you have a leak at the top, just take like black electrical tape around a little bit under where the rim seal is, where the seal is. You can actually feel that there's a little, I want to say a lip to these cups that I like this style of cup. This is my favorite style. A lot of people like the skinny. I like this one. But it's personal preference. I can link to the skinny ones too that I have used them and I do love them. But I like this one better. This is my favorite one. But yes. I did mention I hope that I'm an Amazon associate and that those links will make me a small commission if you purchase through those links. I do have to disclose that, but I will say that you can get any of these products elsewhere. I've gotten the glycerin and the alcohol and stuff, and I get stuff at Dollar General, I get stuff at Walmart, all kinds of places. But just for simplicity for everyone, and the fact, like I said, that I do make a small commission, I will link everything that you could possibly need to do these. All the things I'm using, you can also get off of Amazon. And I love my Amazon. I like the glycerin. You can get a gallon of it, if I'm not mistaken, off of Amazon, instead of the little tiny bottles. Sorry. And here I'm just kind of going around to that edge. And like I said, I am not even slightly worried that resin is going to pop out on anybody, because I melted that rim around that hole down and created I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but I created something for that resin to grab onto. Like, you're not just going to pop that resin out. That is underneath that lip that I created by melting down the edge of that hole. I am going to hit it with some heat to get any air bubbles out. I will come back to you and do a couple more tutorials on these, because there are some things that, there are some different ways of doing it. Like, I don't know if I mentioned this because I've had to go back and redo this video. I've done this. I redid the voiceover a couple times, and I know you can still see where my hole is. I should have used a darker glitter, but it's not a deal breaker. I'm not worried about it. It looks fine. It looks fine, and don't try to be perfect. You know, people. I want it to look like it's a handmade item, right? I think. I like that character. While I was getting that light, I ended up spilling my chunky Halloween glitter all over my floor. And it's still out there. I haven't went out there to clean it up, but I will. Yeah, it's like my skulls and witches and pumpkins. And that hole, when you do it, that melted hole method is big enough to where if you take some tweezers, you can push some good-sized chunky glitters in there. I do one that's got like the big pumpkin faces, like the one I just spilt. This one I just did, I've got stars and hearts and stuff in there, but they're not real huge. I have the one that I held up to show you with the Elmer's Magic Glue method, that a solution. That one has unicorns in it, so this is really cool for like the shaped glitters, and they do better in these than like this fine little stuff. I am excited, and I hope a lot of people watch this and comment. I want you to comment and give your 2 cents and tell us what you're doing. Because, yeah, like I said, I have found that, nobody's got the perfect way of doing anything. There's always something you can add. And it takes a village to, this big learning curve on these. If I tried to do one with glow in the dark and it didn't turn out successful, if someone can comment and tip about glow in the dark, I just put like a glow in the dark mica powder. Maybe it's because I added a little bit of paint to make it a darker color, or maybe I didn't add enough mica powder, but it doesn't glow in the dark. But I have seen people who have them glow in the dark. I was kind of bummed about that, but I think it might be because I added paint. Maybe you can tell me. I would love to know. And this video is 25 minutes long, and it's real time. I didn't really cut you out of anything. So except for adding the stickers, I decorated it up, but before I did it. But here I tipped it over and just set the light on top for a second because I wanted to make sure that I was also curing the UV resin on the other side, because I've got that glitter mixed in. I always worry about that. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, I would absolutely welcome you. I have videos right now mainly on sublimation tumblers. I do all kinds of tumblers. I do glitter and epoxy. I do these. I also make other things. I do spinners. I do magnets. I do a little bit of everything. If there's something that you want to try to do, comment, and if I haven't already done it and can do a video on it, I'll try anything. I love learning new stuff, and I also love helping people to learn new stuff. But I look at this, I love that those hearts and stars are suspended. There's some movement, but they're not dropping. I personally don't like my stuff to just drop, because, like I said, if I'm walking around with my pretty cup, I want people to see my pretty cup. I don't want it all to just drop to the bottom. Not so fast. That one turned out good. It's a Christian tumbler. It's got positive affirmation and Christian sayings. I personally love my Lord Jesus Christ. I don't judge people. I believe however you want. I'm not going to preach to you. I'm not going to preach to anybody. I'm not going to judge you either. So don't judge me. And there you have it. Like I said, comment, please. My mess.